Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to RobMotive JT. So after having about I think this is my fourth Jeep Gladiator, there's a few things that I've decided that I am not doing. Kind of a live and learn thing, I guess, for things that I'm not going to do to the Jeep Gladiator. Let's jump in. First of all, number one, I am not going to be putting on a tonneau cover. I know it's a popular mod, and it kind of depends on what your needs are, right? For me, I have two trucks, of course, and the Tacoma is going to have a tonneau cover. But I'm going to leave this one off because I want to be able to haul bigger things, right? Let's say I want a new TV, you know, those great big boxes. Maybe I want a washer, a dryer, or even a refrigerator or something. Even one of those really short type refrigerators, right? You know, you're never supposed to lay them down. You're supposed to keep them standing up for the coolant inside, right? Having a tonneau cover, while I could roll it back, put it up against the window, whatever, maybe slide it in if you happen to get that kind of a cover. Still, it's a pain. I want to be able to snatch and go, if you will. I don't want to have to screw with uncovering the bed, particularly since I have another truck, right? It just makes it easier to haul bigger stuff without having to worry about screwing with a tonneau. And frankly, from a watertight standpoint, I've only ever found one that's watertight, and that is the cheapo vinyl, I guess, cover from Tiger. The only one I've ever had. It's a trifold and costs under 300 bucks, at least the last time I had one. So no tonneau cover for my Jeep Gladiator. Next up, no front plate holes. You know, if you're fortunate enough to live in a state that doesn't require a front license plate, then you're lucky. I don't. I live in Texas, and we have to have front license plates. Now, it's not something that I necessarily think you're going to get pulled over as a primary offense, but you can. And of course, as soon as they pull you over, they immediately start looking for other things, right? It's kind of like a smorgasbord for them, you know? I mean, I have windows that are not legal tint in the front. So if I get pulled over for no front license plate, they're going to notice my windows. And then maybe I get a fine for that, or I'm told that I have to remove the film. I don't want to do that. So I didn't want to put holes in the front of my bumper. I know a lot of Jeeps will come with either pre-drilled holes, the dealer has their tag on it, which I hate, or sometimes they have a bracket that is also drilled into the front bumper to mount the plate. You notice I mounted mine below where it can't be seen, and in my case there were existing holes down here in this it's not really an aftermarket, it is an OEM Rubicon style 3-piece bumper. I don't have the two side pieces on, of course, which makes it stubby. But nonetheless, I am not going to be doing this to my Gladiator. I'm not going to put holes in the bumper. Instead, I've mounted the plate below. Now, a couple of people, when I showed this mod, mentioned about approach angle. Maybe it's a little low. If I was worried about that, I would have put some kind of a hinge system on there so that the plate would actually move back and forth. And maybe I'll do that anyway. And the other is I was told that the plate has to be at least 12 inches off of the ground. This one is about 13 inches, 12 and a half inches, something like that. So I am legal and should not get pulled over because my plate is not right. Next up, no lift. I am not going to be putting a lift on the Jeep. Now, I am not anti-lift, I guess. I do love lifts on trucks. I think they look awesome. However, in my experience, what you give up is just not worth it. They ride harder, it's a lot more firmer, you can have problems with steering, you can have vibration issues. It just opens the door for all kinds of problems that, frankly, on a brand new Jeep with warranty are not going to be covered. Because the rule is anything you do that causes the failure of an otherwise warranted part or system is going to void the warranty on that system. I have a 3-year warranty on this Jeep. I don't want to mess with that. I don't want to put something on the truck and then screw something else up, which I've experienced in the past, and then have to pay for it myself. So I guess for me, if I was to do any kind of a lift, it would be in the future after the warranty goes away. We shall see. No 20-inch wheels and tires. My Jeep came with 20-inch, for some reason, wheels and tires. I am not a fan. I think they look out of place on the Jeep. I think they take away from the ride quality because of the narrower tread wall here, if you will. I don't like them. I'm going to change them out. We're going to go to probably 18s. I might go to 17s. I don't know. And I do want a wheel offset that gives me a little bit of tire poke. You can see right here, we're pretty much even with the fenders, right? That's how most vehicles come stock. It's to keep things from flying down the side of the truck, damaging the paint, flying off behind you, and unfortunately maybe damaging somebody else's vehicle. Now, I'm not talking about anything crazy, maybe something just a little bit more than you see on the Tacoma here, which isn't a whole lot, to be honest, maybe 1.5 inches, 2 inches. But I think the truck looks much better that way, and definitely will have better ride quality when I guess increase that tread wall and go with a smaller size wheel. Next up, no tune. I am not going to tune my Jeep Gladiator. First of all, I don't believe that it needs it. I think it's got plenty of power the way that it is. I think the acceleration in it is pretty good. Maybe a pedal commander, something like that, a throttle controller, just something to kind of crisp up the pedal response a little bit. But other than that, no tunes for me. I really am not interested in having somebody sitting in a parking lot with a laptop messing with the brains of my truck. Nothing wrong with them if you're into them, I guess, but for me, just not something I'm looking to do. No undercoating. This kind of depends on where you live, and this, again, depending on where you live, is something that a lot of dealerships will throw out there at you. You should get it undercoated because it's going to rust. I live in deep South Texas, not in the salt belt, right? We don't get snow and ice, so we're not dumping salt all over the roads that I have to worry about rust and corrosion under the truck. Just not necessary for me, something that I wouldn't spend the money on. Lastly, no extended warranties. I think those are the #1 things that dealers try to sell you, and there's a reason, because they're big money makers, right? Now, it's not to say that maybe an extended warranty wouldn't come in handy if you have a problem down the road. Maybe an extended warranty if you're going to keep the Jeep after its, I guess, factory warranty. But definitely not something I would purchase up front and then roll into the finance cost, pay interest on, and then most likely either get rid of the Jeep before the manufacturer's warranty ends or never need it to begin with. Anyway, those are just a few things that I am not going to be doing to my Jeep Gladiator. Leave me a comment. Let me know if you agree, or do you guys do these things? I'd be curious. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.